Hello, everyone. This
Hello.
is Glenn and Tanya Coleman, and we're just so excited to be with you for another episode of Marriage Matters. And we're just so grateful to be able to share with you every week, whether it's in these short videos, whether it's our Sunday Drive Live, which, by the way, we have been getting a really great response from the Sunday Drive Live.
Absolutely.
So on that note, you want to...
Yeah, we're going to shout out one of our viewers, and this is Mrs. Cassandra Scott. Thank you for watching. She said, love the concept. We sometimes drive and talk about our goals and dreams. It's a wonderful way to connect through conversation while spending time together, and she gave us a heart. Thank you so much, Cassandra. We really appreciate you watching and leaving a comment on the Sunday Live Drive. Thank you so much.
Yep. So, again, we're just so excited, to be able to share with you guys every week. If you have any, we had one person, they asked us just recently, you guys take questions? Absolutely. If you want us to discuss something or talk about a particular topic, you can send us a message, inbox us.
Yes.
We do have an email address now that you can email us at. You can email us at info at marriagematterstous.com.
Okay.
Info at marriagematterstous, TOUS.com. And if you want to just maybe anonymously ask us, or even just say, I don't care if you say my name or whatever, but whatever. If you want to ask a question that you would like us to discuss, and even if we don't know the answer, we know where to get it from.
Absolutely. So. You can also, guys, we do have a phone number if you want to reach out via telephone and call, leave a message.
Or you can text that number
Or text that number. That number is 337-415-9535. That is the phone number for Marriage Matters, and we will be able to pick up your messages or texts or what have you, questions, comments to that as well. That is also a good way to reach out to us in the event that you and your spouse want to sit down and discuss some coaching. That would be a great way to reach out to us as well.
Okay. So thanks for the support. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking. So this week we're going to be talking about dealing with adversity.
Yeah.
Dealing with adversity. So, we always say this about how much preparation goes into the wedding. I remember when we got married, I told Tanya, I said, look, just make the decisions. Right. I don't know if any other guys are like that. I was like, hey, just make the decisions. Tell me what time and the place, I'll be there. The only thing that I asked is that we started on time.
Yes, and he was very
serious. I told her, if we don't start on time, I may have somebody stand in your place until you get there, but we're going to start on time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so much preparation goes into the wedding.
Yeah.
But I don't think we give a lot of consideration to the marriage.
Yeah. Which is the most important thing.
It's great to we had a wonderful wedding. I don't know, maybe one episode we'll share some of that. What you think?
Sure, we can share some clips.
Clips from the wedding. But anyway, what do you do after the wedding?
Right.
And even more than that, because the other thing is, a lot of people think that, marriage, that everything is, even in our marriage, we're great, we're happy people.
Yeah.
I think we get along pretty well. But look, life happens. Life happens. Things happen. So what do you do? How do you handle adversity? How do you handle when things go wrong? How do you handle it when you and your spouse can't come into agreement?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to talk about today. So, I'm reminded of this scripture. It's in Matthew chapter 7, but it talks about how there was these two guys. One built his house on a rock. One built his house on sand. And the Bible says that when the rain when the storm came,
right,
that one of the houses did okay. It fared well through the storm. The other one was washed away.
Yeah.
And it was the one that was built on the rock, of course, that survived the storm. The one that's built on sand. So one thing that you want to do to make sure that I don't want to say is that your marriage is is
adversity free.
Or I was gonna say proof.
Okay.
Well, how would I say that? Adversity proof? Mm-hmm. Can I say that?
Yes,
Adversity proof?
You can say that. He can say that, right?
Is number one, you want to make sure your foundation, that you're doing the things that are going to ensure a
right.
good foundation
right.
for marriage. Mm-hmm. And that, for us, is based on the Word of God.
Absolutely.
Your marriage is based on the Word of God. And that you're doing the things, you're having the discussions, you're talking through things, the little things.
Yeah.
You're talking through the little things. You're not, we did an episode on, talking about the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. So you're not sweeping everything under the rug. Because I'm telling you, if you are able to do that, if you are able to practice communication, mm-hmm. if you're able to practice loving your spouse, if you're able to practice putting your spouse before yourself in the good times, when adversity happens, mm-hmm. it'll be a lot easier to walk through that together, because you're going to know that, hey, you know what, we're on the same team.
Right.
Right now we're in the middle of March Madness. Yeah. And it's amazing. All of these teams, the reason why they are, let me say it this way, when you're at this level mm-hmm. of play, everybody's good. Right. Right. Everybody's good.
We wouldn't be here if we weren't good.
Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody who makes it into March Madness is good. Mm-hmm. So what sets you apart is your preparation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What sets you apart is your preparation. And I think a lot of times what we don't do in marriage mm-hmm. is we don't. Now, again, I'm not saying that we're preparing for something bad to happen. Mm-hmm. But what I am saying is, when you do the simple things, when you maintain your marriage, and that's when you watch these videos together, right? And it sparks conversations, right? When you watch these videos together as a couple, mm-hmm. and it says, you know what, and you say, you know what, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on this. Mm-hmm. We're going to work on that. Right. We teach a class called Married for Life. Yeah. And every time we talk to, a lot of times when we talk to people, and I'm mm-hmm. talking a lot,
You're fine.
Jump
You're
in
good.
here.
You're good.
But every time we talk to people about these classes, matter of fact, I'm going to talk about us. So the first time we heard about Married for Life, it was the Guillerys. They were like, we're teaching this class. You should come be a part of the class. And I was like, we don't really need that. Mm-hmm. Because I thought our marriage was okay. But, as it went on, I said, you know what, let's go ahead and do the class. Mm-hmm. And when we got to the class, I was like, oh, wow. I was like, oh, man, we could work on this. And
very first class, we were both like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and here was the thing. They asked you on the first class, rate your marriage. What was it, 1 to 10 or 1 something to 10? Like that? Yeah. And my number was pretty high, but Tanya's number wasn't. So I was like, whoa! I had no idea that she was saying, I think it's a 5, and I was saying, well, I think it's a 7. Right. But because we chose to work mm-hmm. on that, and so I think she may be closer to 7 now.
Probably a little higher than 7 now.
But my point is that you have to take time to do the maintenance on your marriage.
Yeah, you have to do the things. You have to do like Glenn said, you have to do the little things, because a lot of times we don't have an issue doing the big things, because they're big. They're staring us right in our face. But the little things, the maintenance, the making sure that you have conversations, dealing with the small foxes so that they don't turn into something huge. Mm-hmm. Those daily, we talk to a lot of couples about having daily touch points when you come home from work and you greet your spouse, taking a couple minutes to sit down and look them eyeball to eyeball and have a conversation. Yeah, you may have to walk away from the stove for a couple of minutes to do that. You may not be able to just sit down and hit the remote and turn the television on. You may actually have to sit down and look your spouse in the eye and hold their hand, or play footsie or whatever with them. But you want to have
you trying to play footsie with me right now, huh?
Stop. You want to have a moment of reconnection. That's what those touch points are about. You've been away from each other all day long. It can't just be a, hey, how you doing? How was your day? And then you keep walking. No, stop on purpose, intentionally, and reconnect with your spouse and with your children. You should do the same thing with your kids,
Yeah. And so we're saying all this to say this, that if you do the little things, mm-hmm. when adversity comes, you'll be so much you'll be better equipped
Yes.
to walk through
Right.
walk through that adversity.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do the maintenance, and that's what I call this. That's what I call the Marriage for Life class. It's not marriage counseling, but
Right.
people say, well, we don't need marriage counseling. It's not marriage counseling,
not.
it's marriage maintenance. And that's just like, you know, so many times we wait, even with, and I'm guilty, we wait until we have health issues before we start to do health maintenance. Then we want to start eating right.
Right.
Then we want to, and I mean, that's good and that's great, but just imagine if you start eating right now,
Right.
you start
Right.
working out now. So make sure that you're taking the time to do the maintenance. Make it time you're taking the time to love each other, taking the
Right.
time to communicate
Yes.
in the good times.
Yes.
Practice in the good times, because when adversity comes,
Right.
it's almost too late then.
Right.
Or let me say it's not too late. I'll say it's going to take a lot more to get you through
Right.
that.
A lot more effort.
To
Yeah.
get you through that, and a lot of the stuff, all the stuff that you're going to be. Adversity has a tendency to make all the bad stuff rise to the top.
Right.
And you don't want adversity to be the time when your bad stuff rises to the top.
Right.
Let's clean up,
Yeah. Filter all that
filter
out.
all that out before, and watch your marriage flourish. So
Yes.
that's all we have for you today.
That's good.
So thank you for joining us for Marriage Matters.
Thanks, everyone.
And remember, your marriage matters.